Fareed Zakaria, host of Fareed Zakaria GPS, joining me now from New York. And Fareed, let's begin. I just mentioned Iran. Let's begin there because, you know, the cruel irony is that Washington has tried for years to keep Iran out of Iraq. Is the notion of U.S. and Iran discussions desperation?
Well, I don't think it's desperation. I think it's unfortunate that it's happening in these kind of crisis circumstances. But I think, you know, the setup explained it all very well. The truth of the matter, though, is Iran has been influencing and supporting this government from the start. Many people believe that Iran has had more influence with Mr. Maliki than we have. Remember, Maliki is a Shiite, just like the Iranians. He lived in Tehran for many, many years, over a decade when he was in exile from Saddam Hussein, and Iran has funded most of the major Shia parties. So Iran already has lots of influence in Iraq. We don't have the ability to change that. The question we could ask is, are there some areas where we have similar or shared interests, such as keeping these hardline jihadi terrorists out of the main population centers of Iraq?
Sounds like we do.
I think we do. And let's remember that Iran and the United States similarly shared some strategic goals in Afghanistan. Iran didn't like the Taliban. We didn't like the Taliban. They kind of helped us when we ousted the Taliban in 2001 and 2002. So I don't think this is unprecedented. The Bush administration indirectly had some channels into Iran, and this time around it may be more direct.
Okay, I also want to just talk about the narrative here, because the way the president frames it, Washington is backing this imperfect government in Baghdad against these callous, dangerous terrorists. And then you have others saying that's wrong. They're just saying, you know, plain and simple, Sunnis versus Shiites, sectarian warfare. My question to you, terrorism, sectarian, why is that distinction so important?
It's a good question, and it makes you see how confusing and muddled the situation is. Here's why. Because if we're looking for is the good guys. We're trying to figure out who are the good guys whom we support.
Yeah.
Well, it turns out there are no good guys in Iraq. The good guys, you know, the government of Iraq is itself very sectarian. It's a Shia government that has been oppressing the Sunnis. The Sunnis, the hardline Sunnis, are increasingly turning toward terrorists and jihadis. So they're clearly the bad guys.
But not all Sunnis are bad.
Not all Sunnis are bad, but by the way, nor are all Shia. So what the president is saying is, if you guys can get your act together and create an inclusive government, we're willing to provide you with military assistance. We're willing to try and back you. But we don't want to do it in a context where we will be seen as just supporting one side in the civil war. So I think the president is right to try to condition America's support on, at the very least, the strong appearance, if not the reality, that we're not picking sides in a sectarian war.
Okay. Then there is this opinion piece. We've read it. Dick Cheney, Liz Cheney as well. They have written this opinion piece in the Wall Street Journal just excoriating the president, saying he doesn't even seem to care about Iraq, which is prompting some, Fareed, to say, slow your roll, Dick Cheney, because you helped lead America into Iraq. And by the way, you got some things fundamentally wrong. So here first, let's go back. Dick Cheney, this is before the invasion, way back in 2003.
I think things have gotten so bad inside Iraq from the standpoint of the Iraqi people. My belief is we will, in fact, be greeted as liberators. I'm confident that our troops will be successful, and I think it'll go relatively quickly. But you can't
months,
count on that. Weeks rather than months.
So you have then the now, weeks, months, years, now a decade in Iraq is still broken. Is there anyone who supported the war, Fareed, who is suspect, who is credible?
Well, I think that the biggest problem here is that the Bush administration, after the invasion, really exacerbated all these sectarian differences that we're now seeing. So clearly invading Iraq was a mistake. But my point is, in the first month after the invasion, when they were still declaring victory, the Bush administration disempowered the Sunnis and empowered these hardline Shia rulers. So now it's a little odd for people like Vice President Cheney and Paul Bremer, the former viceroy of Iraq, to say, well, you know, we should try to get Maliki to include the Sunnis. Well, you're the guys who put him in power in the first place. You're the guys who disempowered the Sunnis and created or exacerbated these sectarian differences. So it was a very odd critique, given that in many ways there were key policies of the Bush administration right after the invasion that exacerbated these sectarian tensions and the civil war that we are now living with.
Are you surprised? Let me just ask you this. The Paul Bremers, the Dick Cheneys, these people who are coming forward now, A, are you surprised by the fact that they're coming forward, pinning these opinion pieces, coming on national TV, and B, no onus?
Well, you'd hope that there would be some sense of, being willing to say, look, we got some things wrong and we got some things right. I look at my own experience with Iraq. I got a bunch of things wrong. I got a bunch of things right. But I think that the odd thing here is all of history begins in 2011 for Dick Cheney, when Obama decides to have the troops withdraw, forgetting that the Bush administration actually negotiated the document that said all U.S. forces would leave Iraq in 2011. That was not Obama. That Obama simply ratified it and continued, in that sense, a Bush administration strategy. So again, it's a sort of strange historical amnesia that forgets that it was George Bush who said all American troops will leave Iraq in 2011.
Fareed Zakaria, always love having you on, your perspective. Thank you so much.